Hello and welcome back. It's time for Operation Vengeful Dream. It's taking place in a giant cemetery in Seattle in the United States. This is a heavy abduction, and we've brought the A-Team and Potato, the Lance Corporal Engineer. There's not a lot to say. Let's get down on the ground. Let's have a look at what's going down in the graveyard. That isn't normal. Yeah. And then let's stop it.
Central, Big Sky in position on approach of the abduction site. Strike 1 is awaiting drop clearance.
Copy that, Big Sky. Strike 1 is cleared to engage hostile targets. Watch your backs out there, people.
Right, so welcome to Mausoleum. This is what I've coined the big cemetery map. Essentially, you got a big cemetery and little cemetery maps in XCOM. This is the big one, naming it for its titular central feature here. The Mausoleum itself. Now, usually we start down here in the classic spawn point. Now we're spawning at the east side. Interesting thing we can do here means we don't have to be caught up in the initial fights that tend to happen between these three blocks of heavy cover. Instead, we can kind of head around to the right. Now, what's nice about that is when you get stuck in these areas, it's fairly close to the point of contact you're likely to make, and you're likely to get flanked from the right or left if you don't immediately gain the upper hand in the fight. If you start hunkering down, you're in a lot of trouble. If we head right here, on the other hand, the cover is a bit more spaced out and it's a bit further away from likely points of contact. You've got wider sight lines, which means you're likely to make longer range engagements. And considering we brought both a strike rifle and a sniper rifle, plus we got a rocket launcher, you know, we're geared up for some long range fighting here. So what we'll probably be doing here is heading around the right, going cover to cover and making use of the better cover that we can find around this back side of the map. And then we'll probably be going from here, taking and holding the middle once we've cleared the right side, and then just pushing out the rest of the map in basically a straight line. Fairly simple apart from that. It's a heavy mission, so we'll move fairly carefully and we can expect a lot of contact. But other than that, let's try and save some dead bodies, I suppose. Alright, let's have a look here.
On my way.
Get DSM starting to move out on that right side.
Affirmative.
EQ in position. And then the rest can sort of head back here, heading for this bench and this heavy cover piece, respectively.
Moving.
Not heading forward just yet, trying to avoid unnecessary contact.
Affirmative.
Getting our rocket in position is going to be a must here,
That's affirmative. Voy hacia ese lugar.
but we'll jockey that around
Moving.
in a second.
Aye, aye.
I'm on it, Commander. Andando.
Moving to position. Okay.
Alright, and there we go. A little bit of musical chairs in the middle, swapping everyone around, but we are ready now. Alright, we got mutons out there somewhere. That's fine, that's fine.
Roger. Tracking.
We'll continue to kind of move people up slow, getting them into cover, getting them in position, and getting them ready for the big fight.
Moving.
There will be a big fight. It's going to pop off.
Got it.
You wait and see.
Heading there now. On my way. I feel, Commander. Scanning. I feel, Commander.
We're scouting first with our more mobile unit, the Scout, and then once we've ascertained that it's completely safe to move to that point, we can move up, Scuba Man on the double move to get that infantry in a position where they're stationary for their 2 shots in heavy cover if we're about to make contact on this turn, which we might just be about to, so let's move up here.
Position confirmed.
Taking the left corner means we haven't seen what's around here yet. But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Copy that.
Because it does allow us to get closer up to whatever we're about to activate.
That's affirmative.
Which is good for people like the Assault and the Engineer, obviously.
Heading to that location.
Also means I can get my Rocketeer in a better position. And even go so far as to move up my Sniper.
Heading there now.
To be a little more useful.
I feel Commander. To Overwatch. I feel Commander.
Now, because I never got this spawn before, there's a lot of new experiences for me. One of them is assaulting around this position without having made contact yet. It's a little bit finicky, isn't it? I mean, if we take contact here, the only firing ports are going to be this bench, this position, here, here. The rest are easily flanked. I'll probably even get to take this corner, so where do I want my people? Ideally, you'd want like your rocket here, infantry here, sniper like back here somewhere, and then everyone else probably working off the bench. So I probably need to move up my infantry before I do anything all too crazy. Let me try and put Kilroy a little bit of scouting here.
Got it covered.
No contact, excellent.
Bien.
Now we're going to try and move people up.
Heading out. On the move.
Heading to that location. Heading to that location. Roger that. Come scanning. On Overwatch. Moving to Overwatch.
Todo cubierto.
And we're just trying to make
There's
contact
something out there.
the right way. Well, here comes a swarm of bees, never mind. Oh, if only you could have killed one of the bees for me.
Missed the target.
Oh god, where are my dice? I'm not prepared. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where have I put my die? Here they are. Get my die out. Alright, 4 drones. Contact has been made. So, we probably don't want to take this right side just yet. We have heard possible mutons back there, so let's focus on dealing with the current contact before we start thinking about opening up ourselves to new contact. Now that said, a little bit easier said than done when our cover is really shitty. These tombstones only are like one-way cover. It's terrible. So right off the bat, Iku can't really engage unless it's made very safe for him. No, this is pretty awful. I mean, shit, we don't even really have enough cover because of the way these drones have engaged. Can I just shred them all? Not even. What we might have to do here is take these positions of cover
Aye, aye.
just to free up some space and just pray we don't make any other contact. Which should allow us to put Organ in position. And we'll just have to see if Snapshot is worth its weight. Heat Shredder should deal good damage to these things if it hits them.
Going hot.
And if not, they should be easy to clean up. That's a pretty bad shot. Let's be honest, that's a pretty bad shot there. Alright, now from here on things get even more difficult. We've got even less cover to take. Move Skewer back to this position. Take a shot. It's not a very good one. Starting to look like we're just going to have to weather a storm at this point.
Affirmative. Moving out.
Luckily, when the storm is only drones, it's not too hard to weather. Certainly could be worse.
Affirmative.
It's when we activate more than just drones that it's going to get really tough.
Moving to firing position.
Yeah, 1%. I'm not going to go with that. Gunslinger, though. We can use Gunslinger here. Decent. Try and finish one off with the strike rifle. Drones are tough little fuckers, aren't they? Ah. Looks like we won't bother with that. No real safe cover to take other than that, unfortunately. I think the only thing we can do
I'm on the move.
is bet on the drones not being able to move far enough to punish Cell for just hiding behind the heavy cover here. We don't want to take the right position because there could be mutons there.
Roger. I've got my eyes on that. Scanning.
And it looks like I might get away with Cell's position here. Very nice, very nice. Try not to blow up the little crypt because that's our cover. Oh god, can you see Cell? No, you can't see Cell.
For the love of God, get me out of here!
That's alright.
No.
That's less alright, but it's okay.
No, this isn't right. This isn't right.
It's alright, now we'll just clean him up next turn.
X-ray on the move, they're flanking us.
They're trying to flank us.
Definitely 2 damage we'd rather not have taken at this point, but drones, I mean, they're little flying Terminators. You know, you're gonna get what you want about 5% of the time. And they're gonna get what they want about 105% of the time. That's better.
Adios.
Adios. Now we are lucky in that Organ didn't take any health damage yet, so as long as we keep Organ from taking any more hits, it doesn't mean any additional wound time for us, which is very nice. Let's just go ahead and... That's a fucking metal canister on the roof, which I'm not going to be able to get. So we may as well just take our time here. Probably go ahead and move up and reload.
Copy that. Rack tap bang.
Reload.
Reloaded.
Move up and
Moving
reload.
out. Oh yeah.
She likes that way too much. And there goes the roof meld anyway. As if to say, oh, you thought you were going to get this? And I'm like, no, I didn't think I was going to get it. And then it cuts me off mid-sentence and it says, too late, I'm gone. And I say, I didn't think I was ever going to get you anyway. That's how that goes in my head.
Solid copy. On Overwatch. Roger that. Eyes peeled, Commander. It's killing time. Roger. I've got my eyes on.
Alright, so we're preparing to breach right here. Ah, mutons left. Interesting.
You hear that?
That should make this a little easier then.
Moving.
Yep, nice and solid. Very good.
Affirmative. Allá voy.
On my way.
Taking some cursory
I'm
cover
on it,
here.
Commander. Moving out.
Not what I would call permanent.
Yes, sir. Todo cubierto.
Roger that. Roger. I've got eyes on field, Commander. Overwatch.
And we're just going to cover ourselves as we move down this alleyway here. And once we've got a better base of fire amongst this heavy cover and the trader meld on the roof, we can start thinking about, well, then we have to clear out that right side, as I've forgotten twice now. Then we can start thinking about pushing through the middle. Pushing through the mausoleum itself.
On my way.
Very much a cover-to-cover affair until then.
Me muevo a la posición.
Aye, aye, Commander. Aye, aye, Commander. Moving
They have
out.
got the same voice.
Roger, Dodger.
EQ's surprisingly mobile for a sniper. Very nice. Very handy to have.
I'm on it, Commander.
Moving to Overwatch. I've got eyes on.
Alright, so
What was that?
we're getting a little bit of a better fix on the mutons now. They're not in the mausoleum as I expected last turn. They're actually towards that direction, that lamppost, it seems. So if we take the opportunity to set up some good shots now,
Bien.
we can kind of come back around to this left side and start pushing towards them. Just gotta make sure everything's hunky-dory here.
Moving to position.
Rocket there. Probably put our sniper around this
Heading
position.
out.
Prepare these guys to cross the street.
Affirmative. Moving out. On my way.
Steady these weapons.
Roger that. Come on overwatch. Shield.
And we're ready to cross. Base of fire, maneuver element. Classic stuff.
That's affirmative.
Alright, easily
On
across.
my way.
And everyone can
Aye,
follow
aye,
up
Commander.
in pursuit.
I'm on the move.
Affirmative.
Solid copy, Commander.
Chuck a scan over at this point if we can get a good angle on one. It'd be good to see what's going on over there. No good angle just yet. I'll try again next turn.
Come get some. Roger. I've got my eyes on. Overwatch. Aye, aye. Moving to Overwatch.
Just gotta keep creeping. There they are.
What was that?
And here we go. Ooh, no reveal. My favorite. Now I can take a flank shot, or I can take a whole bunch of Overwatch shots as they move into me. And I think taking Overwatch shots is going to be more beneficial than taking one accurate shot. So let me see if I can get a whole line of Overwatch ready. And I can hopefully punish them as they continue to patrol into me. Emphasis on hopefully, not definitely. That means Scuba Man would have to move to get a proper light 'em up activation as well. But I can work that. It just means I have to be careful where I put people. For example, Potato would have to go here.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for this to break at any moment, of course. This Kilroy will have to go here.
Affirmative.
If we put Scuba... Ah, it worked.
Roger that.
Getting ready here. Kilroy's chilling like a villain.
Solid copy.
We're ready. Let's go ahead and keep overwatching. I mean, keep steadying the rocket. And then just overwatch everyone else. Try and get a free kill out of this.
I've got my eyes on.
Time to kick this sucker off.
Oh man, are you kidding me?
That is not wide.
Well, that was a waste of time.
Negative damage.
But they have come a little bit closer to us, which might make it easier to punish them. We did totally destroy that heavy cover they would have taken back there. And now they're stuck behind a bench, which is probably better than what we would have got anyway. This one in particular has flanked itself behind the treacherous tombstone cover, which is going to be very nice for Kilroy. Very nice indeed. As long as we don't have additional contacts to our left. I haven't heard any additional contacts, so you'd think we'd get away with this.
I'm on the move.
Nice, we're getting away with it. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you twice.
Nailed him.
And Sheriff Kilroy, just like the last time she was on the Mausoleum map, really doesn't care. Thin men or mutons, it doesn't matter. Makes no difference. Now, we want to move up here and get a nice grenade from Potato on target. How to do so? I don't believe I'm going to be able to get a grenade from the middle, so I'm going to have to take one of these valuable corner spots. That is unfortunate for people who otherwise would want to take cover, but I get the feeling we're not going to need them.
I'm on the move.
I get the feeling this is going to work out anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and drop this on top of their cover.
Batter up.
I don't think that wooden bench is going to stand up to the might of Potato. And now these guys are pretty easy meat, let's be honest.
X-ray neutralized.
Eco ain't playing around, and neither Scuba. Maybe Scuba's playing around a little bit. You know what that means? It means someone else earned that kill. Get up there.
Roger that.
You snooze, you lose, Scuba.
X-ray neutralized.
That could have been on your kill list, Scuba. But not. DSM just swooped in, stole it from you.
Moving.
How do you freaking feel?
Good to go.
Running.
Well, not to say that the Overwatch went to plan, but the ambush definitely paid off for us. That bench they took made him easy meat. Easy, easy meat. Alright, now it sounds like we got 2 floater pods left. But we have control of a lot of the map. Like, when you're in a map like this with a lot of cover that's one-directional, 1D, the thing is, you know, you're easy to get flanked, like that Muton found out. So, if we just push straight up to the Mausoleum, straight up, and we get flanked on our left or flanked on our right, because we haven't covered either of our sides, that drone pod comes in from our right, the Mutons patrol around the map are coming from our rear, floaters coming from our left, and we're just in a world of pain with a lot of pods. But coming around here through the right side, it's been really nice and lovely, because we've just taken pods one at a time, just draw an arrow around the map, and we're just pushing through linearly with only one flank to worry about, just keeping away from that middle, so it's been really nice. I've had a good time so far, let's hope it keeps up.
I'm on it, Commander. Aye, aye, Commander. Affirmative.
So now that we've, you know, cleared all this side of the map, we can afford to take the Mausoleum as a base of fire, which is going to be really handy for us.
On my way.
A la orden, comandante.
Yes, yes, yes. We've also blown up a lot of the line of sight blocking that we had going on there, so that's nice. That's a bonus.
Moving.
Locked and loaded. Locked and loaded. Overwatch. Let's do this.
Yeah, we know you're there, floaters.
You hear anything?
By the sound of that giggle, I don't know what they're doing to the bodies they're excavating, but we know you're there. Alright. Let's stick Scuba on the corner. Probably run DSM to the right here.
Moving to position.
Kilroy can take the Mausoleum itself. Next move, once everyone's ready. Tay can go with her.
Moving.
For the grenades. Where can Kong go? Haha, Kong go. Kong can get ready over here, I think.
Affirmative.
Kong can take Scuba's place once Scuba moves up.
I'm on it, Commander.
Cell's fighting with the best of them. And Iku's just keeping his sight lines as clear as possible. Probably worth reloading Iku instead of studying my aim. Don't know why I didn't do that. Not paying attention.
Overwatch. Come get some. Come get some. Overwatch. Aye, aye.
Alright, we're just moving up nice and slow here. Or should I say, really fast?
Tracking. Look sharp. Enemies rolling up.
Yeah, really fast. So we got 1, 2, 3, and it looks like a couple of them are just sitting on the ground there. Oh, but they're flying, so you still get the bonus. Balls. Nonetheless, if I can pick one of them off, I can run that scout back with no problems. You get that. That happens sometimes. Alright, so that guy is going to take a shot at me. Not that it particularly matters at this point, and I could even just stay in Overwatch and or shoot. But with lightning reflexes, I may as well just fall back into a better position.
On the move.
And lightning reflexes has failed me again. That's alright. It's like, what, a 3%? It was still statistically a better option than just sitting there, I think. Oh, well, that means we need to get up there and support more than ever. Because the fact of the matter is, DSM can get one shot now, and we need to stop that from happening.
Headed there now.
And that's exactly what I intend to do.
Moving.
Poor work, Potato, poor work. Expect better from you.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah, I know, man. Not your best work.
Heading out.
Alright, Gunslinger should be able to finish this one off. And in fact, I can go so far
Hunt him down.
as to run out of heavy cover from this position. not going so great.
Target.
Organ can get in position. We have to Overwatch with Cell.
I feel, Commander.
Probably Overwatch of Organ.
Overwatch. Aye, aye.
Overwatch of Scuba to try and keep him pinned. And what are you gonna do, Floaters? Oh god. You're gonna Overwatch, okay. Now this one's stealing my Overwatch on the left, which means this one is gonna be liable to be Brave on my right. Whether or not Cell can catch this one if he moves is gonna be a big part of this next move, because he might be able to flank. If he's very mobile, he might be able to flank this.
Miss the target.
That's a flank! Somebody pick this guy. Nobody's picking him. He's going crazy.
Missed the target.
X-ray on the move. They're flanking my position. Heavy fire.
Kilroy doesn't care about flank. See? Kilroy just does not care about flank. So what can we learn? Every time you have a near-death experience, you should learn something from it. Probably what I should learn is that I'm just as liable to have my Overwatches ruined and not hit as I am for it to keep that floater pinned. Probably should have just suppressed this guy in hindsight. But we learned from it. Now we get away with it. Now who's the most troublesome? I believe Scuba can see the guy on the left. Easy peasy. So the most troublesome guy is this guy on the right, which we're going to pick off. Or attempt to. Easy meat.
I need ammo.
Probably should have applied Hollow first, but... Alright, that's getting annoying.
Negative damage.
You're easy, meat. But I may as well start with you. Dead.
I'm all out. He's down.
I don't know if you have covering fire or not. At this point, I'm a little bit afraid to ask. But if I'm going to find out of anyone, I should find out with Kilroy. Man, we are not hitting the hits today, are we?
Good.
Not hitting the shots. I mean, worst case, we're going to have to run an Overwatch here. Or else Kilroy's in a bit of trouble as well. Getting a little bit annoying, that is. Let's move Pete one step.
That's affirmative.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if Pete would then be able to see. Very nice. So we'll take a shot. No covering fire. Excellent. And now we can shoot, or we can just try to pin him with Overwatch. Now, floaters are generally pretty scared of Overwatch, so it might be an idea just to Overwatch here and rely on him to just, you know, kind of sit there. But if he calls my bluff, I'm in trouble. He is more likely to call my bluff in the direction of this bench, though, which is 2 Overwatch shots plus opportunist from Scuba.
Roger that.
So I'm probably going to go with that.
Scanning. I feel, Commander.
Floaters don't very often call my bluff anyway.
Starting to lose ground.
Yeah, there's your Overwatch. Definitely the safer option. Let's apply that holo targeting again. Or we could just kill him. Alright, so we definitely got off lucky there with Kilroy. Of course, the reason Kilroy is the one up there, you know, taking these kind of moves is because Kilroy's got a shit ton of health and armor. It's not like she would have died. If she got lucky, she might have even had a wound, but definitely happy that we didn't have to see whether we got lucky or not. We'll keep advancing at this point.
I'm rolling.
We'll just kind of take a quick half step here, kind of slow our advance just a tiny bit
Will do.
as we take the opportunity to reload.
Moving to position.
I'm on it, Commander.
I'm on the move. I've got a visual.
I had a feeling that might happen.
Rack tap bang.
That's alright, you always got to expect him in the Mausoleum. I mean, that is the name of the map after all. So we'll just have to, we can still reload here. It doesn't change too much of our plan, just that some people will be moving to places a little bit earlier. Hunky, you there? I'm going to stick you in heavy cover.
I'm rolling.
Outside of line of sight. Potato, you can run
Aye, aye, Commander.
there. We'll stick Curry on the right.
Solid copy.
And we're ready for another 3 floaters. Alright, working out pretty optimally. Now we don't know where they've gone here. If I could get a battle scanner from DSM in here, that'd be handy.
Aye, aye, Commander.
But that also leaves DSM in a very exposed position. So I'd rather not.
Heading out.
A little bit of Mark 1 eyeball reveals nothing that we didn't already know, though. Let's peek inside the Mausoleum itself.
That's affirmative.
Nothing. What, are they flying over it? This is weird.
Good to go.
Roger that. Scanning.
Yeah, stay frosty on this one. This is a little weird.
Affirmative. That's affirmative.
I don't trust it. I don't like it.
En guardia, por supuesto.
Alright, so they're flanked around that left side by the sound of it, which means I need to get Potato over on the left side again.
You hear that?
Watching that left flank. Organ should see him coming as well, though. Looks like they are going over my head, too. Wowza. Oh, wow, they didn't fuck around with their plan, did they? So apparently from that first activation I didn't see, they immediately flanked around here, except without being visible to Organ, which is a pretty nice move from them. So I don't know if they flew up here or something. Let's just say Petite is lucky to be alive after that, but is in a lot of trouble. We can't rocket without moving Pete. So it's lucky that I think we can get away here without getting overwatched. But to where is the question. Let's go for a twofer here. Let me see. I'm thinking we can throw a nade over as well as a rocket to deal a bunch of damage. It might be better to just let Scuba take that position, actually. We are definitely firing a rocket at all these assholes. They are nice and clustered for that. Alright, right there. And that should hopefully also blow up a wall. Now I don't think Pete's got the skill to make a proper toss over this wall, no. So we're just gonna have to rely on everyone else at this point.
Estoy en marcha.
So ideally we want these guys of Overwatch taken out first. I'm gonna hit the big health one. Who's got the best line of sight?
X-ray down.
He's easy meat. Next we gotta deal with that guy. Now their Overwatches can't crit. And I don't want Lightning Reflexes to fail again and get DSM killed with only 4 health. So I think I might dash the Overwatch with Kilroy instead. Because Kilroy's got a lot of health and armor, she's unlikely to take very bad damage even if it hits, and she's unlikely for it to hit anyway in the first place.
Moving to firing position.
Or if I wanted to get techie, I could just move Kilroy to this position and pull off the same kind of tactic. No, I haven't got laser pistol. We may as well just run it. Don't take any chances.
Running.
But it's unlikely it'll hit, and even if it does, Kilroy's got the balls to not even care, because that's not even piercing her armor at this point. Can't actually see the guy, even though he saw her. Well, fuck you too.
No way.
Yeah, that just happened. Right, well, where are we going to move then? If you can't see them from this position, that's kind of shitty. It's not what I was expecting. Unless I flush the guy, but it's not guaranteed to deal enough damage, is the problem. So that's a little bit of a bugger. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do? feel like the only other thing I can potentially do here is get a little bit crazy with my grenades. Come on, just bring it down a little bit. It needs to be a little bit lower than that. A little bit lower, just not that low. Not yellow low. Not yellow. That was it. That'll have to do. Let's throw a grenade up here. Let's see if it doesn't do some things with this wall. No, you still only see one of them. I was hoping blowing that up might help a little bit with the line of sight issues, but apparently not. Right, well, we're gonna have to move up, regardless.
On my way. Position confirmed.
Now, flush should be a simple kill on this guy.
Exposing target.
Hey, it did deal 4. I could have stood in the open. And then we're just going to have to rely on Scuba to scare that...
Overwatch.
well, not to scare, but to kill that floater when he goes for a move. Oh god, he's just going for it. What?!
Incoming fire.
I don't understand line of sight sometimes, but that's alright. You've made your last mistake, floater. Let's give it to Kilroy. Come on,
I'm
Kilroy.
on the move. He's down.
Excellent work. All objectives complete.
Let's try to learn something from every mission from now on. What did we learn from this one? Well, lightning reflexes is probably going to hit you. They are definitely in the Mausoleum. And line of sight makes no sense with floaters and you should never trust it. But everyone's alive. Pete's just going to be out for a little bit. DSM might take a week-long holiday, but we're all alive. What more can you ask for, really? That's what we really learned, is respect the flanks. That was a very intelligent and very aggressive flank from those floaters. That really flitted through line of sight. I never saw him coming. That was impressive. Alright, we walk out of that with a decent number of corpses. And a good little batch of money there.
We will be in touch, Commander.
So at this point, I'm going to pick up one thing. We're squirreling away a lot of money for the interceptor and laser cannon rush we're planning at the end of the month. But apart from that, I'm going to grab one little item here. There's things like alloy shivs and whatnot that I'd really like to pick up at some point, but that's really expensive stuff. But I'm just going to pick up a reinforced armor now. This stacks with the alloy plating. This gives +1 damage reduction and 1 extra hit point to your assault. And also -7 penalty to defense. It all comes at the cost of an extra 1 weight over a normal item, which costs only 1 weight. This costs 2. The -7 penalty defense might seem like a con at first, but on your assault, if you're trying to be a tank assault, which is why you would build this item, it actually can be quite handy because aliens are going to prioritize the target that is easiest to hit. In that case, -7 defense isn't a lot, but it's going to ensure that they're aiming for your assault, which can be quite handy when they've got 1 damage reduction, plus damage reduction from any cover you put them in, plus their extra hit points. You know, Kilroy's going to be doing a good bit of tanking of extra conditioning thanks to this piece of equipment right here. So I'm going to go ahead and build one of these. $90 is a bit off our interceptor fund for the end of the month, but we'll manage. And then we'll wait on the rest of the stuff, and we'll keep on scanning. Now, do keep in mind, we do need to scan on the 24th. Let me take a quick look here, actually. We're still going on our mutant autopsies. I got a lot of money, but it's still going to go away at the end of the month. I suppose once I've done the interceptor rush, I'll be going for a thermo generator, and then probably going down a level and trying to build like a laboratory farm down here. Probably going down 1 level and then excavating right and building 2 labs here. I really need to get some labs going. My science is just terrible right now. To put it quite bluntly, it's just going awfully. Anyway, we can worry about that later. For now, let's keep on scanning, keep on saving our money, and get that alien containment finally. Ooh, and what an interesting deal this is. Just as I say, I need scientists. How much is 15 Illyrium? How much is 1 Illyrium? $5. That's a decent price for 2 scientists. I'll take it. Alright. And it makes them happy. And the rest of this shit, I don't really have to worry about just yet. Must remember to get that Canadian satellite transfer before it expires. But for the rest, we can carry on. Alright. Here is the jail. It's very loud.
Containment facility online.
It's very loud in the jail. That's on purpose. It's mental warfare. We're doing that on purpose. My arc thrower should be completed. Which means any UFO missions we get, we can try and bring some people home. Yes, that's a pretty awful deal. But it's not like I really need secto corpses at this point.
Contact detected.
Alright, so if we shot this down, for example, and if it had some crew remaining, for example, we could try to capture some aliens, for example. Send up the avalanche missile guy, seeing as he's not doing much else. We need a laser cannons for fighters.
Engaging bogey.
We're hardly going to send the avalanche against anyone else, so we may as well use him.
Getting eaten up here!
Oh, wow, and that's just totally useless. Great job.
Contact detected.
Let's send up one of the laser cannons then. Just a really useless job there. Just a really awesomely useless job. Let's see what the laser cannon does for us.
Approaching target now. Taking heavy fire!
Wow, okay. Oh, I forgot how bad the early game air game can be. But we did get a shoot down, which is good. Can't complain too much. Alright, where does that leave my air game at? God, this is terrible. Really going to be looking forward to getting those extra interceptors. I can kind of transfer them around soon. But we have a small UFO shoot down. I'm going to prepare a team. You're going to wait. And we're going to have a great time. Well, that's no good. Actually, we're going to skip time for 8 hours so I can get a scout and AWO. And then we'll go on the mission. Hold on. That's a bit better. Alright, now I'm going to prep a squad. Alright, we're taking a team that's a little bit more, what's the word here that I'm looking for? A little bit more qualified than you'd usually bother taking for a small scout. The reason being, this is our first attempt at getting us some nice, juicy live captures. We're going in with Hypergeek, who, thanks to repair, is going to be capturing, hopefully, 3 aliens for us, but at least, we want to come out of this with at least 1. That's why he's taking the SMG this mission, for that high mobility to get up there and get those captures while you still can. Meanwhile, we're bringing extra flashbangs on Wolfer and Daishi to try and keep people pinned while we get them. We're bringing a high-level sniper in Kung Top because we need that disabling shot to try and make these captures extra safe, especially against outsiders, but, you know, against anyone. And then apart from that, Van Dorn's going to be suppressing, AWO can help with the suppression and with the Overwatch. J-Bell has got the rocket for mech in case, you know, this is actually an actual mission and things go wrong, and for the same reason, Wolfer's here to make sure everything goes hunky-dory. He's the bouncer. There's not much more else to say. Let's hope we come out of this with 3 aliens, but if not, even 1 would be nice at this point. I feel like some interrogations. Let's go ahead and launch the mission, let's get into it, and let's be as successful as we possibly can.
Strike 1. Prepare for landing.
The area of engagement for this mission will be in India. Our target went down in a remote area, but we have to secure the site before the aliens recover any survivors.
Alright, for Operation Driving 4, let's hope we get a lot of captures. I'll see you next time for that one. Hopefully very soon. Until then, stay safe, have fun, have a good one.